Welcome back to Sacred Success Salon. I am your host, Anna Kowalska, and we are speaking to awakened leaders who are right now creating more impact for more people, living on purpose and claiming prosperity. And today's guest, I am so excited to introduce you to and have an amazing conversation. So please help me welcome Ires Alliston. Welcome, Ires.
Thank you so much, Anna, for having me here. I'm so excited and so grateful to have this opportunity to be with you as well as your guests.
Oh,
Thank you.
so such pleasure. So let me introduce Iris to you guys, just so you know who she is. Iris is a leading business advisor for introverted coaches, consultants, and women entrepreneurs. And she's a chief editor-in-chief, big difference, to the Six-Figure Women Coaches magazine. And you can see it right behind her. That's how I cheated. You can find out more about Iris right below this video. And I love Iris when I came across your work. I loved that you were just so open about helping the introverted coaches create high ticket business. Because I think that, and tell me if this is true for you, but I find that most healers, most empaths, which is I know the audience we're speaking to, do categorize themselves as the introverts, right? And then shy away from building their business a certain way or shy away from building it at all
Yeah.
because they put themselves in this box as an introvert, right?
Exactly. And that's one of the things that I come across not only with the clients and the people I talk to, but really with myself as well.
Mm-hmm.
Because for years I put myself in that box, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always had this awesome ideas, awesome gift that I want to share with the world, with the people that I want to serve, what I want to help. But for some reason, something always held me back. And I'm thinking, okay, here it comes. Those little things that I think about. It's like, I'm not good enough. What if they don't like me? What if they don't like my voice? All those little things come popping out. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, Iris, I really want to help people. You need to stop doing that. And one of the things that I try to really let people know, it doesn't matter if you're an introvert or not, is you have an awesome gift. It's about helping other people, and it's about shining your awesome authentic self, because you have so much message. You have this awesome message that you can share with the world. You just need to figure out how you're going to do that. So, yeah.
I love that. So where do you stand on as an introvert, right? And I know you've created Success, which I definitely want to hear about because the magazine you've created, it's so exciting. When you get into how do you do that, right?
Oh, yes.
Most right, like, so most of the techniques that I am aware of usually require some extroverted activity, right?
Oh, definitely. And this is one of the things that I also, encourage others out there. If you're an introvert and if you're an entrepreneur and you're so ready to
Mm-hmm.
share your gift with the world, you have to also network a little bit. And I know
Mm-hmm.
for a lot of introverts, we don't want to do that, right? Or at least we don't know how to do that, or we feel shy. It's like, what do we say to people? How do we, approach them? But you have to network with people. And one of the things I did is to really get out of my comfort zone, to step out there and start networking and building my relationship with those people who are somewhat the opposite of me, hence the extroverts.
Mm-hmm.
The extroverts.
Mm-hmm.
Because now I'm picky though. I'm actually picky when it comes to who I want to associate with and things like that, because we have to really guard our energy also. As an
Mm-hmm.
introvert, we can only do so much, but the extroverts, they're so lively, they're often happy. They're so outgoing. And so what I do is I try to make sure that I align myself with the right extroverts who are not only going to help me come out of my comfort zone, but they're also supportive of who I am and what I do.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I try to do.
what I'm hearing is finding cheerleaders, the people who really
Yes.
are, yes, who are like, yeah, I want to support you. Did you have to, for yourself, overcome any limiting stories around being supported in growing your business?
Oh, absolutely. Personal story when it comes to my health.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I I've always have struggles with my health. I have an autoimmune disease. I had 3 surgeries. I had a brain tumor scare.
Mm-hmm.
So many things along the way. And even though there were times when I told myself, okay, you know what, Iris, you can't do this. You just need to give up and just focus on what you need to do. But I always think of it like, I'm not actually done yet with what I want to do. I
Mm-hmm.
have so many people out there that I still want to reach out to and create that impact that I can't stop. As
Mm-hmm.
long as I'm breathing, as long as I can write something and share my message, either through blogging or posts on social media, at least I'm impacting even just one person every single day.
Mm-hmm.
So that sparked a fire in me and to always keep going. And obviously I have my family as well, and I'm so thankful and so blessed to have them because they're constantly supporting me and they never complain. They
Mm-hmm.
never complain. They never told me, "Mom, you're awake at 3 a.m. in the morning. You should be asleep." They're just so supportive and things like that. But I just been blessed along the way, and I always try to think of the positive side of things,
Mm-hmm.
because it's so easy to get drawn into the negative side,
Mm-hmm.
right? And yeah, I don't want
Yeah.
to get into that, but
Yeah.
that's, yeah.
So what led you to start your business?
Actually, my two kids, and even though they're young men nowadays,
Mm-hmm.
right? They're one is in their 20s, the other one is 18 years old. But it was my children. I remember a time where, and mind you, I just left my job. I had to leave my job because I was so sick. I
Mm-hmm.
remember I had to crawl on my bedroom floor just to use the bathroom, and that was so hard for me. But I had to leave my full-time job in a corporate, and I remember sitting in front of a desk, and I was staring at a pile of bills, collection bills, car note, mortgage, utilities. And I was sobbing, I was crying, and I'm thinking, what can I do to pay the bills off? Because there's no more money coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And granted, my husband was also working full time, but it wasn't enough. So I began to really get down on myself. I was at the lowest point of my life, and I'm thinking, what else can I do? I was crying. I was defeated. I felt defeated inside.
Mm-hmm.
And what snapped me out of that doom and gloom, if you will, was the fact that my children downstairs in the house, downstairs, they were playing with their Legos, and they were laughing, they were giggling, they were having a great time. And here I was sobbing, and I was just, crying so much. And I heard them, and it snapped. It literally changed my mindset into saying something to myself like, Iris, you're not a quitter. You will figure something out, introvert or not. You have greatness within you. You
Mm-hmm.
can turn your skills, your knowledge, your expertise, all those things that you have learned over the years and all those education that you have gotten,
Mm-hmm.
and turn them into something that is valuable, that you can inspire other people to take that next step. So within that week, I inspired myself to start to looking into opportunities. So
Mm-hmm.
I opened my laptop, I started typing, work at home opportunities, whatever that was. And as you know, Anna, if you do a keyword work at home, we will see trillions of
Oh yeah.
information online, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I have to sift through that, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm getting too overwhelmed. It's like there's too many things. And
Mm-hmm.
I really started to look into myself, reflect, and figure out made me happy? What makes me happy? What is it that I can also provide value to people?
Mhm.
And it just went down to fundamentals. I love creating things. I love making things, great. And I love technology. I love technology. So I started my agency, my marketing agency, and I only had $50 at that time
Mhm.
when I opened my agency. And within a few days, I turned $50 into 300, and then the next was $500 and so forth. So that was exciting. That was a breakthrough moment, but I have to give thanks to my children because without them giggling and laughing,
Mhm.
I would have I don't know what
Wow.
I have done.
It's, so what I love what you just shared, Iris, is that because I know the place where we are right now in the world, right? There are a lot of people who are in these situations where they're asking themselves, what do I do? And whether it's a job situation or a business situation, because so many businesses are undergoing, change, right? Because of everything going on. And I love that you're like, yeah, it was my children's laughter, right? Because it's so simple, so pure, so simple, right? So what I'm hearing is like, it's something that's available for all of us. Like, what is this one simple, like, it doesn't have to be this huge, you know sign in the sky or anything like that. It could be just an innocent laughter of a child, right? Or like, I see a woman, I'm staring out the window, I see a woman walking with a dog, and I'm like, wow, that's just such a simple, pure moment in life that could pull you forward and say, okay, I'm going to do something different.
Exactly. And every
Mhm.
single one of us have that why. And
Yeah.
it's so deep in us. We might not realize what it is right now, but it's all in us. And
Mm-hmm.
like you said, it's so simple from a children's laughter to
Mm-hmm.
seeing someone passing by, and it just sparks
Yeah.
that creativity in you.
Yeah.
And when you have that moment, oh my gosh, Anna, when you have that moment, that breakthrough, it's like light bulb, goes off, and you just can't stop thinking about it. It pulls you so much to your quote unquote destiny, to your
Mm-hmm.
fate,
Mm-hmm.
that you just keep moving forward. And no matter what other people tell you, and we're going to have all these other
Yeah.
voices and noises. But if you found that whatever it is that sparks your
Mm-hmm.
your your inner core, you just keep moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So your business has gone through iterations too right now. Like, you are right now in the launch of a magazine, right?
Yes, yes, and thank you for bringing that up because with
Mm-hmm.
the magazine, it's my first. Okay, to give you a little background, I have no background in journalistic, right? I'm not
Mm-hmm.
a copywriter, but I had this dream that I held on to for 4 years. And I wanted to also have my magazine. I just didn't know how, or perhaps it wasn't the right timing, whatever the case may be. But I just thought, I'm just going to do it. And, when I launched it, it was during the time when it was harder. It was December 2020 is when I started I put out a call out there and say, hey everyone, I'm thinking about starting a magazine. Even though you know me as a coach, you know me as an advisor, I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
course creation and turning all that stuff. But I figured, okay, the magazine is like the opposite spectrum of what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And I just invited other people. I put it on Facebook, just announced it very softly. And within a couple of weeks, I had 20 people signed up for the magazine.
Amazing.
I know. And I'm thinking, okay, I think I have something there. So maybe I need to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's happening. And as a matter of fact, for this year, we launched it or we published it on March 2020,
Mm-hmm.
and it's on Amazon. It's translated or available actually in 13 different countries. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited
Yeah.
about that. And now
Amazing. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Thank
Go ahead.
you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. And now we're launching the second edition. It's going to be winter of 2021. And I'm just getting people in the publication right now. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
excited. So many
Yeah.
things to do.
Yeah, I love it. And I love that you said, I had this dream for 3 years. I wanted to do it, right? And wasn't the right time. What had you actually say, okay, I'm gonna try it now?
Just out of, I don't know, I can't even remember if I read something or if I heard something, whatever it was, but I think it was just my inner self going back to myself,
Mm-hmm.
really believing in my ability and my inner knowledge to say, okay, it's now or never. It's
Mm-hmm.
now or never.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what, Anna, when I was telling a couple of my friends or associates that at that time, they were a little bum actually. So this is where my inner self told me, say, okay, don't listen to that because it's your dream. And they were telling me, You're actually going to get people in December, and we have Christmas, we have the holidays. You're not gonna get people in." And I'm thinking, okay, that little in me told myself, I'm gonna prove you wrong. you know, I
I
just
love it.
watch me. I'm gonna have people in, and I was thinking I was only gonna have 5 or 6 people.
Mm-hmm.
I had 30 people who applied, and only out of the 10, I mean out of the 30, I only had 20 people.
Mm-hmm.
So as the final featured coaches. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's exciting.
So it's magazine for coaches, women, and I'm looking at the logo as I say it. So it's magazine for women coaches. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's well, actually, it's for all, but specifically for women coaches and women entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
You can either be aspiring to become a six-figure earner, or you've already achieved that status.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a well-round magazine. I even have guys in there who are coaches and consultants because I added a section for guys. I call it
Mm-hmm.
Guys Talk. So
I
I need
love
to
it.
come up with some creative title, but I have
That's a
Tech
good
Talk.
one.
It's a good one. Okay, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it. But yes, and I have guys in there who just sharing their stories, their
Mm-hmm.
challenges, and how they overcame those challenges, and look at what they're doing now. So it's inspiring other people to get out of their comfort zone, as well as to get themselves out there with their message, with their gift.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
love it. How did you know? So when you first started your company, I want to go back to when you first started. When you had nothing, right? And you're like, I know I like to do this. I know, I'm good with this. What did you do to get your first client?
Social media. 2 words. So at that time, it was a lot easier
Mm-hmm.
to just put your information out there. And I only focus on Facebook. Only focus on Facebook. And I figured, well, since a lot of people, all these big companies, and at that time I was reading about Coca-Cola, IBM, Apple, all these people using social media, and I'm thinking, why can't little old me do the same thing? I wasn't known at that time. I was unknown, unheard, frustrated with what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Why not can I use social media? So on my Facebook wall, I just put the information out there and I told them about, hey guys, I have an idea. I just started my business. I would love for you to support me, and this is how much I'm going to charge, but I'm going to provide you so much value that the price is not even. You're going to think of me, it's like, Iris, you are so ridiculous for giving me all these things for little money.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I did, and I was so thankful because my very first client, I was happened to be in California,
Mm-hmm.
and she saw my post, and she said, I'm ready for a web design. And at that time, I was doing websites, web design, social media, and mobile apps.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, okay, for $300, I think I can let you work on my website, her very first website.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I was so overjoyed. I remember after that phone call, I went outside and just screamed, and I looked up at the sky and said, thank you so much for the blessing.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, thank you. And I did my work and I provided more value. She was so ecstatic. She referred me to another client, and at that time I was thinking, okay, I don't really want to charge 300. I am going to see if I could charge 500 for just a simple website.
Yeah.
Before you know it, I had my second client, and it just went on from there. And it was all about believing in myself. It was all about, trusting my gut because I didn't have anyone else, Anna. It was just me. And all I had to think about was my kids. When is my next, how am I going to feed my children? I
Mm-hmm.
took that $100 in my bank account and took the risk of taking out $50 to create my own website. I bought a domain for $10. I did some graphics, and I think I used like $20 to create this thing out of the
Mm-hmm.
app, and then another 30 to build my website.
Mm-hmm.
So, you've got to take that risk no matter what other people say. You have to believe in yourself and just go for it
Mm-hmm.
and have fun. Have fun.
That's so amazing. I love that you shared it. I just had an instinct to ask you about your first steps just because of where you are now. And, our audience, some of you watching right now are just starting. Some of you are expanding your impact and thinking how much bigger can I grow my impact? And at any point, what I'm hearing you share is like, first of all, you're beginning. Don't overthink it. Just go and ask. Just say, hey, this is what I'm up to. Will
Yeah.
you support my business? Right? Like, I know when I first got into my business, I had a lot of these stories because I was comparing myself to other people. I had a lot of stories around what I have to prove, right? That this is what I can do. This is what I'm doing, right? And it was all based on all the stories in my head, right? That I had to have a certain website that looked a certain way, and I had to have this, and I had to have that. And I think it definitely matters at some point, right? But when we first starting, and again, I know we're talking to a variety of people who are already in business, but even as I keep going and I keep growing, I always make sure to check myself now. And it's what I'm hearing. Like, do I believe in myself enough to take that next step? Because that's really the only thing that matters right now.
Exactly. And to be honest with you, Anna, I get that little monster that creeps in once in a while in my mind too. Granted, I have become used to it now, and I know exactly when that little monster, I call it monster, right? Those self-limiting beliefs that creeps
Mm-hmm.
in. Whenever I feel him coming in, I just squash it and say, "No, no, I don't want to hear that right now." I
Yeah.
say, "You've got to stay focused," and that's what I typically say. But
Mm-hmm.
yes, but in the beginning, oh my gosh, it was so hard, just to be honest with you, just to be transparent. It was
Mm-hmm.
hard. It took a lot of my energy and willpower to really believe in myself and not knowing what I was doing
Yeah.
because becoming an employee, I mean, I started as an employee and then becoming an entrepreneur, and that word, I didn't even know what that was,
Mm-hmm.
right? I knew the word coaching or coach or consultant, but I didn't know what an entrepreneur was. And then
Mm-hmm.
over time, I just realized the many time and effort and the energy we put into becoming an entrepreneur. Basically it's all about you. So you wear multiple hats. You are an accountant, you are a social media manager, you are customer service, everything. So I learned that over time, and it was hard because there are times people would tell you, well, you're not up there, Iris. I can work with someone else who's got a better profile, better looking website, right? And that's when I start comparing myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I get into that mode, granted at that time I would be so down at myself, I would spend overnight thinking about myself. Why am I doing this?
Mm-hmm.
There's just no way. I was second guessing myself. And then I have to really work on remembering the time when I was sitting down that day hearing my children's voices. And that helped me catapult my business to the next level because it wasn't about what other people say or what I thought. It's about helping the people out there that I want to serve, that I
Mm-hmm.
want to make an impact. And it's because it's about them. It's
Yeah.
about them.
I love that that's what I heard. That's what I'm hearing in your interview too. Like with everything that you're sharing, you say it so many times that it's about them. Like even the magazine. I feel it from you, how connected you are to helping people, right? In whatever way, not even helping, but creating whatever you can to support people in growing their businesses. So what's your vision for the magazine?
Ah, my vision for the magazine. It's again, it goes back to everyone who are featured in a magazine. My hope for them, and just like you, and I love your message, is to bring forth, more opportunities, more abundance for them. Because when I started the magazine, it wasn't about me. And granted, I have my name in there, but I
Mm-hmm.
want to shine a light even more to the people in the magazine so they can have more abundance, so
Mm-hmm.
they can have more freedom, whether that's financial freedom or time freedom, right? And have more choices. And especially for women coaches, we want that. We want that for ourselves, whether we have families or not. We want choices and abundance and
Mm-hmm.
impact and
Yeah.
impact.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So great. So as we come to the end of our conversation, which is always such a sad time for me, is there something that right now you are learning that is, and I'm going to put you on a spot, and I know it's not a simple question yet. If there was a simple way to answer, what is the thing that is the most important thing to focus for those of us who are building businesses, for those of us who are watching right now or interviewing you, who are growing our businesses at this time with so much, there is so much need for coaches. Like I know there's so much need for coaches, for healers, for guides, for consultants. People are seeking support. And it's so noisy at the same time,
Yeah.
right? Is there anything right now that you could, like, if it was a simple advice you could give or thing that works right now, what would it be?
Oh, it always goes back to this. No matter what you do, it always goes back to mindset.
Mm.
Mindset. It always goes back to that. And self discipline. Because as you know, you've already said that, we get so distracted with so many
Mhm.
things. There's so many people who are tagging us along, all that stuff. But it always goes back to mindset and really believing in yourself that you can do this. The
Mhm.
thing is, it takes a lot of practice. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen overnight. So do whatever you can to put your mind in the right position. So watch inspiring videos on YouTube
Mhm.
or even on Netflix, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Be around people who will enrich your life and not bring you down.
Mhm.
Okay, and just keep moving and be focused on that one goal, whether you want to create that positivity in people's lives. And it doesn't have to be, becoming an entrepreneur or starting a business. It could be something like if you want to start a school in Africa, right? That's a huge goal. And just
Mhm.
think about what's going to happen after that. Think of the vision, think about the horizon, what is going to happen when that goal, that dream becomes a reality, because that's going to keep you stay focused to your goal and give you that ignition or fuel to keep
Mhm.
moving forward. But it really comes down to mindset first, and then having the vision, and then moving forward.
I love it because it's simple, yet it's so timeless, right? And no matter, so I love saying, there are great strategies. There is always the next thing to do. Yet the things you just said, right? Mindset, believing in yourself, keeping yourself focused on what you want, vision, that. And I love that you brought up at some point self-discipline too. Self-discipline. Yeah, really moving forward and keeping yourself focused on what it is you're creating. Timeless, right? And so
Exactly.
important right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's not just about what we do now as we are alive, it's also about building that legacy,
Mhm.
because your words, your pictures, everything else that you have done while you are alive can live forever through the people that you help, through all the things that they have learned from you. So in a sense, you're building a legacy, a
Mhm.
lasting legacy. And if you have done it right, if you start now, you never know. It could be there 5, 10, 20 years from now,
Mhm.
right? So it's about building that lasting legacy for others.
I love it. So great. So Iris, I know you've shared so much already, and
Ah,
you,
thank you.
you are just delight. You are delight to chat with. There is so
Thank
much
you.
passion coming through you, and I know you have a gift for our audience, so they can get even more from you. So you guys know it's the button below this video. Could you tell our audience what's waiting for them behind the button?
Yes. Oh, thank you so much for allowing me to gift your audience. It's the my checklist on, on coaching and consulting.
Mhm.
And when you download that information, it's going to give you about 4 or 5 pages worth of information that you can just devour in your own time. It's going to help you with not only mindset, but also, what you can do, how to turn your skills and knowledge into something awesome.
I love it. So great. And I know wherever you are, I know I actually did the checklist, and wherever you are, it's a great thing to come back to realign and check yourself. Check yourself. Am I still aligned with what it is that I intended? It's so amazing. So make sure you claim Iris's gift, the button right below. Check out her magazine, Six Figure Women Coaches Magazine. I'm so excited about that for you and for everybody else. So great. Yeah.
Thank you, love. Thank you so much. And thank you, everybody.
Thank you for being in the salon, contributing your wisdom and your experience and your passion. And we'll see you at the next conversation. Bye for now.